This is FIBA Podcast. Thank you for joining us in our morning daily devotion.
We're reflecting today on Matthew chapter 1, verses 18 to 25. Mary was pledged to be married to Joseph. Two excited souls, young, godly, filled with a desire to start a journey of a life honorable in the eyes of their God, in obedience, until God Himself intervened. Before they came together, Mary was found to be pregnant through the Holy Spirit. As excited as Mary must have been to be God's chosen vessel, she must have been filled with anxiety. How would this unfold before a Jewish society? Think of it, a society which 3 decades from that time would be ready to stone a woman caught in the act of adultery, until her own son, Jesus, would step in, would intervene to save her. Mary would also have been devastated just at the thought of losing a righteous man like Joseph, who she would have learned to love through these months of betrothal. Mary was not walking on a cloud of happiness. She was walking through the fiery path of faith in worship. And then came Joseph. Matthew calls him faithful to the law. We can understand that as faithful to God. With a character that would not disgrace someone who had disgraced him, Joseph was not a passive man who would let the law of God be ignored. This was a man who chose to honor God, take action, but take action in a way that reflected the compassion and consideration of Christ. Joseph decided to divorce Mary quietly without public disgrace. And it was after he had made his decision that God sent an angel to him in a dream. Joseph, son of David, the angel said, reminding him and us of the royal line Joseph came from. Do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife. What is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son, and you will name him Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins. Joseph woke up and he did exactly what the Lord commanded. How would Christian marriages look today if we took time to listen to God and do exactly what God commanded? Joseph took Mary home. He waited to consummate the marriage until the child was born, and Joseph gave him the name Jesus in obedience to God's instruction to him through the angel. So here was Joseph, a man who was ready to do the right thing in the right way for the right reason. A man willing to surrender to God's difficult mission. Let's not neglect the socio-cultural implications on Joseph's life. The whispers of Mary being pregnant before marriage, the pressure from parents, relatives, and friends to divorce her, turbulent wedding preparations. I wonder if they even had the kind of wedding they had initially desired. Literally everything they dreamed of and hoped for was taken away from them in being the earthly parents of Jesus. This was no easy submission for Joseph and Mary. It wasn't even a one big difficult submission and the rest of their life would be easy. This was a submission to a life filled with pain, with suffering, and yet awe as they watched their son, the Son of God, grew up before their eyes. So let me leave you with this. Where is God calling you to not disgrace someone who has wronged you? Where is He inviting you to do the right thing in the right way for the right reason? Where do you need courage to take righteous action even when it costs you something? And perhaps the hardest of all, where is God calling you to trust Him with a heart that lets go of your own dreams to embrace the mission He places in your hands? May the obedience of Mary and Joseph encourage you to boldness, to obey God, especially when God's call on your life throws your entire life into a disarray.
Dear listener, we are here to stand with you in your time of need. We want to pray with you and for your prayer request. Do you need someone to talk to? We are here for you. Call us or send a message at +91 636 425 2164 +91 636 425 2164. God bless you.